Hello and welcome to a very wintry Howley Hall Golf Club here in Leeds, where today I'm taking a look at the new Apex MB irons from Callaway Golf. Hi there, Ryan Mastell here for Golfshake.com, and as I've said, I'm going to take a look at these new Apex MB irons. But before we do that, I know we're not in the most ideal conditions. Normally this time of year we might go somewhere a little bit warmer to have a look at some of the latest equipment coming out, but with things as they are, we're sticking to doing everything in the UK, and we've got to put up with weather like this. But it's not, like I say, it's not ideal conditions to be testing an iron, particularly a really bladed one like this, and certainly my fingers are scared already, some of the strikes that we might see out here. But you know, we are going to play in weather like this in this country quite a lot, and around the world. You know, you get very cold wintry temperatures out there as well. So, you know, we want to try golf clubs in all conditions, not just in the sunshine. So we're going to put them to the test out here on the golf course as well. But before we get into doing that, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. See loads more content from all of us here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better. So, whilst I appreciate an MB iron isn't going to be something that all of you are going to rush out and buy, and nor should you, it's something that I personally love to test because they look the nicest, don't they? Let's face it. No matter what standard of golfer you are, you always want to be able to hit a 4-iron like that, don't you? And most of us can't. And yeah, I'm going to show you exactly how difficult they are to use when we get out here. But let's talk about them from a technological perspective. Now, Callaway is saying that these are for the best players in the game. So straight away, that probably takes a lot of us out of that equation. But we'll talk a little bit about the technology and things that Callaway have done to try and make them appeal and be a bit more user-friendly for more golfers out there, really. So obviously we've got this tour style shaping, so they're a bit more rounded. They look lovely behind the ball, sat there in that address position. And you know, like I said, there's not many better looking irons than a blade, is there? So we all love looking at bladed irons and wish we could hit them all, and this is no exception. But we've got this new, it's called High Performance 20V groove pattern that Callaway are using. So it's helping to maintain the spin throughout the set and also try and reduce those kind of flyer shots that we get out the rough as well. So it helps get some of the moisture and the grass away from the contact between the ball and the face, and hopefully keeps that spin a little bit more uniform throughout the set as well. Now you'll notice we've got this weight in there as well. So basically this is it's not something that's going to be, you know, changeable and movable for me and you, but it just allows Callaway, when they're building sets, to basically dial in the swing weight a little bit more precisely without moving CG. So normally when we're swing weighting a set of irons, and like you'll know when you're all getting custom fitted for different products, there's different shaft weights, there's different grip thicknesses and weights as well, different layers of tape that we put underneath, and that all plays havoc with the way that the club's built and the swing weight of it. So traditionally what we would do to try and get that swing weight, so most irons are around the D3, D4 sort of swing weight when you buy them. I mean, you may not know anything about this, but most of your irons should be exactly the same when they come off the custom build line there, and every iron should in theory feel the same swing weight when we're hitting it. Now some companies are better than others at doing that, and Callaway have devised this way of helping them to make it more precise. And normally we would either put a tip weight in the end of the shaft before we glue it in, or put tungsten powder down the shaft and try and move some more weight that way if we're using heavier shafts or heavier grips and thicker grips. Now what Callaway are able to do is change this weight that's in the back of the head so that they can actually swing weight the set without messing about with the CG, because obviously if we put loads of weight in here, so either tip weight in or tungsten powder, it's going to move CG towards the heel, and in doing that can make the head twist a little bit more and stuff like that. So being able to shift that weight a little bit more this way is going to help to maintain the stability of the iron and also make sure every set leaves the factory the same. So there has been some thought go into this iron in terms of making it that bit more precise, and so it should be. You know, it's for, like I say, it's for the best players in the game, so we'd expect nothing less. Now we're going to hit some on the trackman inside, have a little bit of a look at the numbers, and then I'm going to come back out here and hit some shots on the golf course too. and tell you exactly what I think. Now, I have actually tried a full set of these irons already. I was at the Belfry a few weeks ago with Callaway and got to test out all of their new product range for 2021. To be honest, it wasn't too dissimilar from today. The conditions we're playing in, we didn't have any snow, but it was blooming cold, and the ball wasn't going ever so far. And yeah, I did hit a couple of poor strikes, and my God, my fingers are still ringing. So as much as I'm perversely looking forward to hitting these and getting out there, like I say, I've already played with them around the Brabazon at the Belfry and I absolutely love them. So yeah, we're going to hit some inside, we're going to come back out here and hopefully then go back in and get a nice warm drink. So when we take a look at the numbers, we can see that obviously this set's fairly traditional in terms of its loft. So when we look at pitching wedge, 135 yards total, it's pretty much what I expect from mine. Get a little bit more distance with the 8 and the 6 than I would normally get. So 170 is kind of half a club longer than I would normally hit my 8. You know, I sort of base it on sort of 160, 165 at a push really, so it's a good 5 or 6 yards longer than that. 6 iron, you can see 192, nearly 193 as an average, which is pretty long to be honest. That's again probably half a club longer than I would club myself if I was hitting a 6 iron out on the golf course. And 210 with the 4 iron as an average is pretty much what I would go with a 4 iron. So yeah, the performance is very, very good. The feel of these irons is amazing. They look so good behind the ball, but they're not an iron that you can miss the middle of the club face that often with, to be honest, because they are just so harsh, I suppose, when you don't strike them well. So these are really going to suit the very best golfers and ball strikers out there, and certainly anybody that doesn't hit the middle of the face all that often. One, you're not going to enjoy hitting these because they're going to hurt your fingers, but also you're just making the game hard for yourself, and who the heck wants to do that? So yeah, I mean, if you're that type of player who's a very good ball striker and wants something that is going to look awesome in the bag and also strike fear into you every time you stun over the ball, these are probably the irons for you. If you're someone who doesn't strike the middle of the face every time and you maybe need a little bit more help, one of the other Apex irons within the range is maybe a little bit more in your wheelhouse. So it's worth having a bit of a look at all of those. Obviously we've done videos on them as well, so you can take a look at them. But this iron is not for the faint-hearted, but it does feel amazing when you hit it out the middle. Just been out here on the golf course, played a few holes with Apex MB so far. Well, as much as you can. I mean, it's obviously very snowy. It's quite difficult to find the ball when it lands, but thankfully I've only hit decent strikes so far. So yeah, they've not hurt the fingers yet, but I'm just about to hit a 4 iron, and yeah, that should really put me under a bit of pressure to hit the middle of the club face. So let's see how that. So I've got exactly 200 yards from here to the centre of the green. Now, as you can see, it's probably -1 or 0 degrees out here at the minute, so I'm not expecting the ball to go miles. It's also into a little bit of a breeze, and the breeze is freezing cold. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. 200 yards, 4 iron. I'm pretty scared. Let's see how it goes. So just hit those two 4 irons down here, so you can see the flights on the tray. So one sort of down the right and kind of drew onto, I think it landed on the green on the right hand side, so so yeah, that should be okay. And then the second one didn't come out the middle, out the toe a little bit. My god, did it hurt. And we wait to see where it's finished up, but yeah, I mean, they feel great off the club face, and really solid. Not so some companies really pride themselves on how soft their forged clubs feel, and to be honest, I've never liked clubs that feel like that. I'm not a big fan of you know, some of the really like buttery soft irons that you get. They've never really been for me, but yeah, these feel nice and solid on the strike, and I absolutely love that. The feedback is fantastic from the club face, so we're going to walk up here now and see exactly where they've gone. So the first one, as I said, a little bit down the right and kind of drawing, and we can see that it's towards the back of the green, so it's pitched kind of middle-ish and just ran up. You can just see the little trail in the snow that it's left as it's running up the green. Second one, like I say, a bit toey, drew a little bit more to the left hand side, and it's obviously pitched short of the green and just ran on to the front here as well. So you can see how much snow there is, well, here how much snow there is under my feet, but yeah, both pretty good, both on the green from 200 yards in really cold conditions. So we're seeing about 210, weren't we, inside when we're hitting it on the TrackMan. So I would definitely have taken at least 10 yards off for the conditions. You know, it's so cold. Like I say, it's into the breeze a little bit. We set the TrackMan on about 15 degrees C, so we'd expect a few more yards in there anyway. But yeah, we can see that, yes, the first one was a solid strike, so we'd expect it to have gone a bit further, but the second one was out the toe, and we haven't really lost ever so much, and you don't really associate bladed irons with that little bit of forgiveness, but potentially we're getting a little bit with these, which is very, very good. So there we have it. We've now tested Apex MB both inside on the TrackMan, but also outside here on the golf course. Now, as I was saying before, this is the second time I've tested it out on the golf course, because I was lucky enough to play the Brabazon at the Belfry a few weeks ago with a full set of these irons in the bag, and absolutely loved them when I played there. And you know, this hasn't changed my opinion of them at all. When you do get them out the middle, the strike is so solid and the ball flight's so powerful as well. Whether I'd have the fortitude to try and have a 4 iron or a 3 iron in this set remains to be seen, but certainly, you know, the beauty of this Apex range of irons that's coming out is how easy they are to combo. So potentially I might look at Apex Pro in the, you know, 4, 5 iron, 6 iron maybe, and then the rest of the set in this MB. So like I say, that's the great thing about these Apex range, or this Apex range that's coming out, is there's an iron for everybody, and it's so easy to combo the sets. So it's been great getting out here on the golf course again, despite the obvious conditions, but yeah, feel really solid and my fingers are intact, so all good. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've certainly loved getting out here and more importantly in the performance centre testing these, but they are definitely an iron for a good ball striker and someone that is going to hit the middle of the face certainly more than they miss it. Now, that may be you, it may be not, but they're definitely worth considering, and obviously get custom fitted for them, try them out and hit them before you buy them, because going to see someone who knows what they're talking about could also be the difference between you hitting them well and not. So hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. We'll get back to you. We love answering your questions, and yeah, hope you appreciate the lengths I've gone to show you exactly how good these irons are. See you all very, very soon.